Hello, everybody. Welcome to the preview of the upcoming seasonal tournament, Winter Wrestleland 2020. Our first one, the Autumn Harvest 2019, was successful, and we hope to continue that success going forward. As the next tournament, we will once again feature the four teams of Team Acom, Team Fludges, who is our defending champion, Team Zayden, and Team Sam High Voltage. Now, we'll again do the same format, 16 overall competitors, 4 from each team, selected by the team captains, which they're named after. Now, Stone Cold Steve Austin will not be competing in said tournament because since he won the first annual tournament, he is now our defending world champion and by extension the 5th member of Team Fludges. So, going forward, at the end of each of our tournaments, the tournament champion will then take on the current reigning defending world champion for the overall championship. So Team Fludges with Stone Cold Steve Austin is the defending champion. And a couple rules to go over first. Each team has the chance to carry over one person from the previous tournament, barring if that person is the champion. So hence why Stone Cold will not be in the tournament on Fludge's behalf, but will still represent him as the defending champion against the tournament winner. So, without further ado, speaking of Team Fludges, why don't we show off his team first to see who is on Team Fludges. I think most people, if everybody participating in the tournament, thought that Team Fludges was going to be the least successful because Fludges is the least knowledgeable of the 4 teams, of the team captains. But yet, he ended up winning the wrestling tournament despite having the least amount of wrestling knowledge, which was a big shocker to everybody participating in the tournament. But when you think about it, given that he had Stone Cold Steve Austin, arguably the greatest of all time, on his team, not that big of a shocker. He took the names he knew, picked them, and they came out on top for him. Will that happen again? Will Stone Cold Steve Austin be able to successfully defend his title for Team Fludges? And hey, if Team Fludges wins the Winter Wrestleland tournament, then he guarantees that the world title stays with his team because they would be team member Stone Cold Steve Austin versus another one of his team members for the Winter Wrestleland tournament. But without further ado, let's check out the defending champions team coming up next.
Get ready for some styling and profiling. The following contest is a fatal 4-way match. Making his way to the ring from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing in at 245 pounds, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. A $25,000 robe, a lifestyle that most people could never imagine. It's tough being the Nature Boy.
There's an old saying, if you want to be a star, you gotta look like a star. Well, the Nature Boy more than looks like a star.
To be the man, you've gotta beat the man. And ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at the man. Byron Saxton, what's causing all this?
A Nature Boy, woo!
It's The Rock and his opponent. First, from Miami, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds. Listen to this place! The most electrifying man in all of entertainment.
well-deserved ovation for the great one. An 8-time WWE champion.
The Rock's one of the biggest stars in the entire world, and Byron, I think you should keep his name out of your mouth, you jabroni. From Canada, weighing in at 218 pounds, Kenny Omega.
A big-time fatal four-way match coming up here, guys. Which means, believe it or not, we're going to be sending away 3 of these superstars with a loss here tonight. I'd say that he's among the most prideful superstars on the roster today. Well, when you accomplish what he's been able to accomplish, Michael, you have every right to be proud of yourself. The leader of the NWO is here.
From Hollywood, California, weighing in at 251 pounds, Hollywood Hogan.
Whether he's wearing yellow and red or black and white, when Hollywood Hogan competes, it is always the main event. He main evented 8 of the first 9 WrestleManias, changed the world of sports entertainment with the NWO, and came back to have even more epic battles against the likes of Mr. McMahon, The Rock, and Shawn Michaels. Suffice to say, I think we'll be seeing Hollywood Hogan run wild one more time tonight. He's got the 24-inch pythons, the uncanny ability to hook up for a comeback. And hey, he's Hollywood, so he ain't afraid to cheat to win. He's definitely got plenty of tools for victory up his sleeve. And 3 simple letters that can turn the tide of any match. NWO.
And there you have it right there. The defending champions team for the upcoming tournament for Team Fludges. He may be the least knowledgeable and experienced when it comes to wrestling, but he's amassed another powerful team. And if one of his 4 participants wins this tournament, then he guarantees that he keeps the title. Because once again, Stone Cold Steve Austin won the title as a member of Team Fludges, so is the loose 5th member of Team Fludges. So good luck to Team Fludges and his team, and maybe looking forward to Pete back-to-back tournament wins. It's going to be tough to get through that team. But we'll go from the least knowledgeable to the most knowledgeable, which was probably just as big of a shocker, if not more, is that Team Zayden not only did not win the tournament, but his 4 team members were the first full team eliminated from the Autumn Harvest tournament in 2019. You know, the most knowledgeable, most experienced by far, team captain, was the first one eliminated. So the other team members thought that maybe Zayden picked too much with his heart than his head, that he wanted to win with people that he personally liked rather than people he thought might be able to win. Though he still did amass a very powerful team last time. But looking at who he's got on his upcoming team, he's coming back with a vengeance with his carryover guys. And speaking of carryover guys, we saw that Ric Flair was Team Fludge's carryover from the Autumn Harvest. And by seeing The Rock and Kenny Omega pop up, you know that Team Zayden did not carry over Kenny Omega, and Team Akam did not carry over finalist member The Rock, which meant that they were free pickings to be taken by anyone else since they weren't carried over, and Team Fludge came in and swooped them up. But can Team Akam come back? Can Team Zayden come back with a vengeance in this upcoming tournament after being decimated more or less last time with only one win to their name coming from team member Kazuchika Okada? Well, we'll see if they can, but looking at this roster he's assembled this time, he very well might do that. Let's take a look now at Team Zayden's upcoming Winter WrestleLand 2020 roster. Let's check them out.
Absolutely insane, guys. And if you think this is insane, just wait until this thing kicks into high gear. You ain't seen nothing yet. Fatal four-way match, guys. You can say that again, Michael. Given who's involved in this one, a win here tonight could be monumental for one of these superstars. Byron, he certainly seems to be showing more pride of late, wouldn't you say? I would, Michael, but he's got to be careful. There are more than a few whispers backstage about that pride, possibly bordering on arrogance. Biggest star in WWE history, and, well, on his way to becoming the biggest star, perhaps in Hollywood, too. Proclaimed by Mr. McMahon as the Babe Ruth of WWE, there is nothing John Cena has not accomplished in sports entertainment. Michael, it's got to feel like yesterday for you when you saw John Cena win his first WWE Championship by defeating JBL at WrestleMania 21. That was back in 2005. You call me old? No, I'm just saying you're a historian. Decorated combat athlete in history. Brock Lesnar is hazardous to your health. The wrath of Brock Lesnar. You don't want to get in the ring with this man. You don't want to get in the ring with him. You don't want to get in the cage with him. You don't want to eat breakfast with him. Brock Lesnar will hurt you wherever he's at. I'm trying not to make eye contact with him. The most decorated combat athlete in the world.
Quite the team that has been amassed by Team Zeta, and they are definitely coming back with a vengeance in our second annual seasonal tournament. But before we get into the next team, just like to let you all know that the first episode, or the first part of this upcoming Winter WrestleLand 2020 tournament will be happening January 1st of 2020 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. So, make sure you mark your calendars and hit notification bells on this channel, so that way you can be there when it goes live and premieres January 1st, 2020, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, USA. Now, let's remind you all, before we also get to the next team, what these competitors and teams are all fighting for. They want to become the world champion of the seasonal tournaments. So, let's just show you again what we're all fighting for here.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Victoria, Texas, weighing in at 252 pounds, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Look out. Here comes Stone Cold Steve Austin. The roof nearly blew off this place once the sound of that glass shattering hit.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the title that everyone here is vying for and fighting for. And good luck to anybody who wants to try to take it off of Team Fudge's member Stone Cold Steve Austin, because you're going to need that in order to take down arguably the greatest of all time. And while we're at it, speaking of Stone Cold Steve Austin, I'd like to give congratulations as the match of the tournament, as well as the match of the year, since the Autumn Harvest tournament was the only match tournament of 2019, the only tournament 2019. Match of the tournament and match of the year for Autumn Harvest and the year 2019 goes to the finals of the Autumn Harvest tournament between Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. That match was voted by the participants of the tournament as both the match of the tournament and match of the year. So congratulations to Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock on an individual level, and to Team Fudges and Team Akam at that point in time, since those were their team members during that tournament. So congratulations to the two of you for putting on the match of the tournament and match of the year last tournament, and for giving us the finals to remember. But that was last tournament and last year. Now for this upcoming tournament going into 2020, we still got more teams to cover. Up next, we got Team Sam High Voltage. He went kind of middle of the road throughout the whole tournament. Didn't do too bad, not too shabby. He had some of his guys lose in the earlier couple of rounds, but he had, at that time, team member Kurt Angle make it all the way to the semifinals, where he fell to The Rock. So not too bad. Came very close to making it to the finals. Some thought that he should have. There were some discussions amongst the team members that perhaps The Rock didn't win fair and square, thinking that Kurt Angle might have had a rope break there at the end where he got pinned. But the referee didn't see it. It was controversial fashion, but it was the referee's discretion, his choice. He said that Angle was within the ring confines, it was not under the rope. So Team Sam High Voltage does not want to get possibly screwed over again, and they have put together quite the force to try to drive home that point that they deserve to win the championship. Not just the Winter WrestleLand 2020 tournament, but the whole World Heavyweight Championship of the seasonal tournament. Can they do it? Well, take a look at their team right here and let me down in the comments below. Do you think this team could take it all the way home? Let's find out. Here is Team Sam High Voltage.
Champion, competed in some of the greatest WrestleMania matches ever, and he's a WWE Hall of Famer. The cream of the crop, nobody does it better. I'll tell you what Savage is. He is a certified legend. Think about this. Randy Savage made his debut in 1985. Since then, he's become a two-time WWE champion, a former Intercontinental champion, and a WWE. In 1985, you were still 31 years old. Yeah, that's a terrible impersonation.
I have voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me.
his name in history as one of WWE's few Grand Slam champions, and the Viper has shown no signs of slowing down. Just as dangerous now as the day he burst on the scene.
I see darkness falling. I hear voices calling. I feel justice crawling. I see.
It's mankind! It's Sacco! And representing the Rock and Shock Connection, weighing in at 287 pounds, Mankind!
One of the biggest mysteries in the history of this business is how a man who threw himself off countless ring aprons, cages, cells, and somehow become an icon with the help of a dirty sweat sock and trading jokes with The Rock. Hey, don't undersell Mankind, Corey. He also had the help of Joe for the Clown. Oh, my God. From where I sit, he certainly seems more focused than perhaps I've ever seen him. He's got one tall task ahead of him here, that's for sure.
Look who's here! The Animal, Batista! And from Washington, D.C., weighing in at 290 pounds, the Animal, Batista!
I cannot believe the WWE Universe's reaction to Batista. This guy takes time out of his busy movie star schedule to return to WWE, and they've given him nothing but disrespect. You have to respect the Animal. Let's not forget about his opposition, who also comes into tonight looking to prove a point. Oh, I should hope so, Cole. If you don't go into every single match looking to make a statement, then you're just wasting everybody's time.
Team Semi Voltage putting together a very solid team, looking to go further than just the semifinals this time. And just like everyone else, the ultimate goal is to win the tournament, and not only that this time around, but to walk away as the champion in the end as well, if they can dethrone Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now moving on to our final team, Team Akam. This team made it to the semifinals on one bracket with Aleister Black, and they made it to the finals on the other side of the bracket with The Rock. The Rock fell short in the finals to Team Fludge's Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you can see now that's, as you saw earlier, Team Fludge's strengthened its ranks by adding The Rock to its team, because surprisingly, some people might think that the carryover man that Team Akam would have used was the one who made it the furthest, that being The Rock, who made it to the finals, but he did not, and Team Fludge came in and swooped him up and added him to his team, as well as former Team Zayden member Kenny Omega. Team Fludge swooped up as well. But that has not deterred Team Akam at all, as he has put together quite the impressive force as well. He wants to not only make it to the finals this time, he wants to win the tournament. He came so incredibly close to defeating Stone Cold Steve Austin, and if he gets one more shot, he can do it. So, this will be the last team we show you here in this video here. Make sure when the tournament begins on January 1st that you are there to tune in from the first episode all the way to the last. And as well, go check out our previous tournament, the 2019 Autumn Harvest, as well while you're at it, to kind of whet your appetite for the upcoming tournament. As we'll see the Winter WrestleLand 2020 coming at you very, very soon. And will the winner of that tournament be able to dethrone the champion, Stone Cold Steve Austin? Till then, like, share, and subscribe. Here is Team Akam, here to sign you out. Check out Team Akam. Let me know in the comments below if you think his team will be able to win the tournament and then dethrone Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Aleister Black is here.
The following contest is a fatal four-way match. Making his way to the ring from Amsterdam, Netherlands. Weighing in at 215 pounds.
Former kickboxer, able to keep his composure in the most intense situations. That's what makes Aleister Black so dangerous. And a man who went undefeated in one-on-one competition for an entire year before winning the NXT Championship. Just an incredible presence when Aleister Black enters his battleground. And here comes the monster among men.
And his opponents, first, weighing in at 385 pounds.
Here's a man who won the greatest Royal Rumble. He beat the Bar at WrestleMania while teaming with a 10-year-old kid, and he won the Money in the Bank contract. Hey, Michael, remember that time he threw you around? Yeah, Byron, 'cause I'm a man. I stand up for myself. I don't run away and hide in the locker room like a little girl. I remember things slightly differently. I was there too, but someone is going to get these hands. original war paint. It's like his abilities are taken to the next level. Finn Balor only brings out the demon when it's time for a big fight. That is a sight to behold. Intimidating. Exciting. Extraordinary.
We're really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that'll never ever end.
I have never seen anything like this in my life. What in the world? It's not of this world, Saxton. It's supernatural. The worst nightmares of the WWE Universe have just been realized. This isn't a horror movie you can just turn off. The terror is real.
Weighing in at 285 pounds, the WWE Universal Champion, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt.
Mind control, it seems. I'll do you one better, Michael. It's just pure evil. Can you imagine standing in the ring across from this man? Or monster? I'd rather not. I'd rather not be anywhere near this human being. I said all along, this dude's got a split personality. We're seeing the worst of it right now. How can anyone face off with that? He ain't messing around. Oh, I can't believe this. Nicely done. He picks up the win. The new face of fear took the world in his hands tonight. And it looks to me like our winner is already thinking about